talked about, as far as portion control is concerned, what about that whole issue with portion control and desserts?
It's holiday time. You're going to have your dessert no matter what. So you eat a little less so you can have that dessert.
Right. Just be aware.
Yes.
That I'm getting ready to eat a lot.
Yes.
So preparation.
Right.
Yeah.
And here's another a way of thinking about it too. Like the week before Thanksgiving,
Right.
cut back on your food. So when Thanksgiving comes,
You say so.
just cut back on the amount of food that you eat. So when Thanksgiving comes, you know you're going to eat a lot, so you're going to make up for the food that you stopped eating.
That's
that
true.
Week.
That's true.
So you're just
That's
preparing your body for that
You
Thanksgiving
gotta have
day.
a game plan. You gotta have a game plan.
So
And that's just all the time, just being prepared so you don't. And you know that, you're going to be eating extra at this particular times, and that, okay, I'm going to not eat. I'm going to save my dessert for that time.
Right.
Or I'm going to not eat quite so much.
Right.
So that afterward, when January comes,
Absolutely.
I'm like now
Absolutely.
making those
resolutions.
so-called resolutions
that we don't keep.
Most people don't keep.
Right.
Because it all carries all the way into the new year.
Right.
And, people tend to well, I'm going to eat all I want now. And then when January comes in, I'm going to start my diet.
Right.
No, you don't want to do that.
Right.
Right.
And if you're going to, don't stress. The other thing is that I tell my clients to, if you're going to, allow yourself that sweet, it's look forward to that. And don't do it with guilt.
That's
There
true.
you go.
Don't
That's
overdo
real
it.
true.
Right.
But don't sit there eating we talked about energy before. I don't want, I know I shouldn't be eating this. Well, then if you feel that
That's
mindset,
true.
well, don't eat it. Leave it alone.
That's true. Especially when you say it out loud.
Yeah. Girl, you
Right, you don't need to eat that.
Is that your third piece
Right.
of pie?
Right.
That's your third piece of pie.
Won't they do that?
Don't do three, do one.
Right.
Why are you counting?
Don't worry about it.
Be on business.
Because
Stay out of mind.
that's one of the pieces they wanted. And you got to it first.
That's true.
That's what it was.
That's true.
You know it's my That's what it is. That's how you know it's my third one, because you were getting ready to get that one, and I got to it first.
True. The last roll. Last piece
you
of
know you be
cornbread.
scoping it out while you're still
The
eating.
whole
Just-
time. The whole time. And somebody messed it up.
Hopefully by the time I finish this thing, one's still there. Because I sure do want to go to some good old rolls.
That is so true.
Those once a year. I have a friend that
we
made
get to
the
eat that.
best yeast rolls on the face of the earth, as far as I was concerned.
Can't beat it.
Oh my gosh! I think it's a good thing I didn't get to eat them often, because I would probably just
Same
eat them
thing.
because they would taste so good.
Same
But she
thing
only
here.
made them at certain times of year.
Same thing here.
So, but just still having that control.
Still having that control.
You still have to have that control, no matter if the holidays time or if it's not holiday time.
That's true.
You have to have that control.
Gotta have a plan.
Right.
Gotta have a plan.
That's it.
Gotta have some balance. Gotta have some balance in there. You talking about Rose? I was thinking about that too. My grandmother, all excellent cooks, and when we would get together for the holidays, I thought because the food tasted so the bomb good that it was really an easy process to prepare. You know what I'm saying? Because they get up at 5 in the morning. Yeah, and the house starts smelling, and everybody would be all excited about it and stuff, and they start calling people to have duties and stuff. I'm like, oh no, I'm not peeling no potatoes, no.
So what you want me to
none of
bring?
that, right. None of that stuff.
I'll bring the
What
napkins.
what I'm thinking about is, that if you're gonna have an enjoyable meal, that part of it could be that family preparation together. You know what I'm saying? That's a good time to start it, and that's something that you can continue throughout the year. It's family time with preparation. Plus, if you know what you're preparing, then you get to decide what goes into it, and what's not. But everybody's not a cooker or baker or whatever.
That's true.
But if you make healthier choices for the items that even if you're bringing, because a lot of people will bring, but read some labels sometimes and see how much is in this or that.
Because then most people go back and say, well, that's how my mom used to make it, and the extra butter or the extra cream, but it's okay. Let's just change a little bit of things.
Right.
And it still tastes good.
Modify.
It still tastes good.
That's true. That's critical.
Now I'm gonna tell you the truth about me
and butter.
When I make something, you already know. Since you know I'm going, I don't cook. But with every now and then I'll cook, macaroni and cheese and those type of things. And because I don't do it often, I go all the way.
Right.
I mean, 4 cheeses, maybe 2 sticks of butter, and to where it's just brimming off the top.
Right.
But it's not something that you're going to get from me or I'm going to fix for myself very often.
Right.
So I'm kind of like, if you're going to go all the way. But you also, but knowing that, I know I can only do small portions.
Right. That's true.
Of that because it's an awful lot.
It is.
And then also make sure I have more fresh vegetables.
Right.
Something to scrub the walls.
Right.
Of everything, the arteries, get the arteries cleaned out, and know that, okay, you can't do this often.
But on that note, like you talk about macaroni and cheese. Well, my husband's a diabetic. So I decided for one Thanksgiving, let me change the recipe for macaroni and cheese. So I made the macaroni and cheese, but I didn't tell anyone.
Right.
They tore that macaroni and cheese.
Right. It was rice noodles. So I did all organic cheeses, and I don't like the yellow cheese. So everything was a white macaroni and cheese. It's a white Christmas.
I feel with the greens and stuff, right? And you give some color to your plate. There you go. And there's that. That was the best. So now I make that macaroni and cheese every year.
I like that. I do.
So it's good. I mean,
it's very good.
Like you said, see, the thing is, everybody doesn't have to listen to me. I just say what I do, but you also have to take in consideration people's health conditions.
Right.
So you want everybody, because you can't cook, and I do know how to cook without all that.
She said, let me put it out there.
I do cook without all that. And you can make foods well. Like my family always loved my greens. Right. And I stopped doing pork years ago, but then I would do a turkey. But now I do without any meat, and no one knows the difference.
Right.
I'm sorry. I do too. I have to
no one knows the difference.
That's good.
But it was a process. It was a process. It's like, okay, I don't have to do this. Okay, let me put a little meat. Now when I cook, I don't even think about smoked turkey or anything.
That is good.
It's a process. It wasn't like I've been doing it all my life.
Right.
But like you said, a lot of conditions, you want to either consider or prevent.
Right.
So you have to consider if someone's diabetic, if they have high blood pressure. You want everybody to be able to enjoy
all of that.
Generally, if you cook for the person who may have some dietary concerns or restrictions, you can cook for them, and you can cook so everybody can enjoy it.
Exactly.
Right.
That's what you want to do.
That's what you want to do. That's what it's all about.
That's what it's all about.
Okay. Now you mentioned, or maybe I'm thinking it, alcohol. Just putting it out there around the holidays, or for some people, not around the holidays, just whatever, because life is, people do what you do to cope. But alcohol consumption around the holidays, who can give me some rule of thumb, maybe? You know what I'm saying? I mean, we can say don't drink a whole lot, but what does that mean? You know what I'm saying? What's a good?
I just think it's just like any other time of year. I think especially during the holiday seasons and people celebrating a lot more, things during between Thanksgiving and after to New Year's, because it goes from that point till then, that people just have to, I just say, be moderate, still be conscious of what you're doing.
Right.
And I think it probably just goes back to what everybody says, don't drink and drive.
Absolutely.
Always make sure, if that's what you do and that's what you're going to do, and everybody knows it, have a plan.
Have a plan.
To know that don't say I only had 1 or 2 drinks, I can drive myself home. No, get someone, because most people know someone that they can get who's not going to drink. Right. I was always the DD,
the designated driver, right?
Because they was like, well, she's not going to drink anything.
Right.
So, and it's like, fine. I'd rather,
sure.
Or if you're going to be at family's house and you feel like you've had too much, plan to stay overnight.
Absolutely.
Make it, have that discussion before you get to that point.
That's true.
That's true. We know we get together, we have a good time. Let's just decide we're going to have a sleepover.
That's true.
And
that's
also,
true.
I think the family member, if they see one of the other family members that had a little bit too much to drink, I think they need to take the keys and
say something
to them.
Right.
Say, hey, but you can't drive, or I will take you home.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Which is
I'll
a
wait
good
here
idea.
until, you know, we got to do the taxi cab thing.
Right.
You know,
Right.
I'm going to go take so-and-so home. I'll come back get you and I'll take you home.
Exactly.
And, you know, because the thing that you don't want is that you wish you had.
Yes.
You know, you don't want the stress, again, going back to stress.
Right.
You would rather not
Right.
have the stress of like, well, maybe I should have.
Right.
Right.
Have a plan. I
Right.
love that you
Just
say that
have
so
a
much
plan.
because
Right.
a plan can solve so many issues. And it
It
doesn't have
can.
to be strict. It just
It
has
can.
to be okay.
Right.
We know we're going to be getting together and, you know, so we're going to stay here or
Right.
whatever, you know,
Right.
or, you know, just say, well, maybe you just say, I'm not going to do it. I'm just not going to drink that
Right.
much this time.
It can happen. It can happen.
And
It
then
can
you know
happen.
your family and friends, you know who drinks and who don't.
Yes, you do.
So you know, like, okay, I know Roberta don't drink, so
Right.
if I have a
The girl-
couple, I know she's gonna take
Yeah.
care of me. She's gonna take me home, or I can get to
Mhm.
stay.
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely. All of
Just
that.
let it be known, okay? You know, just in case. Can you take me home?
Right.
You know, or even before that day, like you said, a week
All
before,
of
a few
that.
days before. You know, or if you don't drink and you know there's going to be drinking, you make the plan. It's like, well, I know I don't
Right.
drink, so I know somebody's
Right.
going to be there drinking. I'm just going to take it upon myself to volunteer
Right.
to take them home in
That's a
case
new
they do
twist.
it.
I like that.
You
That's a
know,
new
instead
twist.
because that person, you know,
That's
you
a new
don't-
twist.
You just have to know. Let me decide on my own that, okay, I'll just decide to be, in case it's needed, I'll
Right.
be available to drive.
That's a new
Yes.
twist.
Home.
I like that.
Yeah.
I do. I like
Take
that.
take it on, don't wait.
That's
Because
a-
everybody won't think that to ask.
Not at
Right.
the time when
No,
I'm drinking.
because
I'm
I'm
not
not
thinking
I'm
about
thinking
playing.
about what I'm doing
Right.
now right now. It's like,
so
I'm
totally
here
different.
Right. Right.
but I
Right.
may say, well, okay, I know Uncle Joe, you know, he gets a
Absolutely.
little lit.
Absolutely.
So I'll just say, plan to, okay, I know Uncle Joe, about after so many drinks, he's going to be a little toasty.
I like that.
So even if I can't stay, I'll come back. And Uncle Joe, you stay here, I'm going to get you.
I like that. And they
Or I'll
would
come
appreciate that.
Go pick
They
him
would
up from
appreciate
the
that.
beginning.
Even
so
at
he
that.
has to get home some kind
That's
of way.
right. That's
a
true.
good
He
idea,
doesn't
too.
have to pick up the keys. I don't have to worry
Right.
about
I
taking
like
Uncle
that.
Joe's keys because
Right.
he
I like
can't
that.
get home because I brought Uncle Joe.
Right.
And that's
I like
less
that.
stress for him,
Yes,
less stress for you, and for the people
everyone
there.
else.
I like that.
You know, so
I like
that's a
that.
good
That's
idea.
real good.
Thank you, girl.
That's why you with us. I like that. Let's
Make it
do
45